Thank you very much for inviting me. I appreciate that. Go back one slide. I want to talk in general. I want to talk in general terms and follow up on some of the things that Ruben said. And I appreciate being invited here to talk about what I consider to be one of the really truly vital products that Niken has to offer, and also one of the products that is truly and honestly the best in the business. You can go out there and find other HEPA filters, but you won't find any that outperform Niken's. And in fact, you won't find any with all the features that the Kinko Air Purifier has. Ruben touched on it briefly where he was talking about indoor air pollution. And the EPA has told us that indoor air pollution is 2 to 5 times more contaminated than outdoor air pollution. And you might say that's counterintuitive. How could that possibly be? But the bottom line is that indoors, we have oil, gas, kerosene, coal, wood, tobacco, building materials, cleansers, and the particulates that come from heating and cooling. Ruben, is there music playing? I don't hear any. So
I don't hear any music, but
okay.
if you have music, some of you, I don't know, someone is
okay. I mean, I've been told that my voice is slightly melodic. That could be it. I don't know. But at any rate, the heating and cooling systems that you have in your home also add to the indoor pollution. And then, of course, you have pesticides and outdoor pollution coming into the house as well. The other one that I wanted to talk about, which is particularly important right now. I mean, Southern California, all you have to do is look outside and see the plumes of smoke coming from the unfortunate wildfires that are out there, which absolutely add to indoor air pollution as well as outdoor air pollution. And it comes into our homes, and it's a lot of particulates that are very bad to breathe in, that are deleterious to your lung capacity. But the one that I wanted to touch on now, which I think is top of mind for everybody, is the COVID virus. And I don't want people out there in Niken land to blanch when I say this, because what I'm doing is I'm getting information directly from the CDC. And all you have to do is go to Google and just Google HEPA, which is HEPA, which stands for high efficiency particle air filter, HEPA, and COVID. Just Google those two, and you'll get to the cdc.gov website, which talks about using HEPA filters in your home in order to help protect you from, CDC is the Center for Disease Control, in case you didn't know. But they're telling people indoors, the best thing you can do in order to minimize the circulation and the continued passage of the COVID virus is to get a HEPA filter and keep it on all the time. I'm just going to read a little part here, and I'll fill in some of this later when we talk about the characteristics of the Kinko Air Purifier itself, but I think it'll fill in nicely. This is from cdc.gov. Research shows that the particle size of SARS-CoV is around 0.1 microns. However, the virus generally does not travel through the air by itself. These viral particles are human generated. So the virus is trapped in respiratory droplets and droplet nuclei that are larger. Most of the respiratory droplets and particles exhaled during talking, singing, breathing, and coughing are less than 5 microns in size. By definition, a high efficiency particle air filter, HEPA, is at least 99.97% efficient at capturing particles 0.3 microns in size. This 0.3 micron particle approximates the most penetrating particle size through the filter. HEPA filters are even more efficient at capturing particles larger. Thus, the HEPA filters are no less than 99.97% efficient at capturing human-generated viral particles associated with SARS-CoV. All right, let's go to the first slide. After that, I think very impressive and thoughtful information from the CDC. 3 phases of the Kinko Air Purifier. 1, it captures particles present in the air using a multi-stage filter. neutralizes odors with one of those filters, removes even small particles. And we said anything larger than 0.3 microns, which is pretty small, is removed with a 99.97% efficiency. Okay, next one, please. Negative ions create an invigorating and refreshing environment. I want to say a little bit about negative ions here. Yes, indeed, negative ions, as we know, the Shinrin. Oh, sorry, somebody else was calling me. The negative ions generate a feeling of wellness and are absorbed in our lungs, but they serve a much grander purpose when we're talking about the Kinko air purifier. More importantly, what happens, the Kinko air purifier generates millions of negative ions per cc per minute, which spew out into the room. And what these negative ions do is they attach to particles that might be in the air that are not charged. In other words, particles that are neutral in charge, and give them a negative charge. And whether that's a droplet of an aerosol, a droplet, dander, particles from smoke, whatever it might be, once they're charged, when they go through the multi-stage filter of the Kinko air purifier, they are greatly enhanced in their ability to stick and stay to the filters that we have there. So negative ions, extremely important. The other aspect of it that's important is the kind of negative ion generator that we have in the Kinko air purifier is one that does not create any pollutants itself. A lot of ionizers that you'll see, some people have them on their desks, they're little needle ions that generate negative ions, also generate ozone. Well, ozone is very bad for you to breathe. And we've been able to do it with a high capacity negative ion generator that does not create any ozone and that does not create any pollution. Okay, automatic sensor identifies environmental pollution levels and adjusts automatically. Yes, we have a sensor that operates in a way, it uses an electromagnetic eye, a small light that looks at what's passing by through the air, much like a smoke detector. And if it senses that the level of pollutants in the air within your house has gone up significantly, it automatically bumps up the fan speed, and in doing so, pulls in more air and pulls more air in past the filter, which means you're removing pollutants much faster. Replaceable HEPA filters available on Wellness subscription. I think Ruben already talked about that. He's running a special on that. As I understood it from the beginning, you buy the Kinko air purifier and you get a set of the replaceable filters put in. Next one, Ruben. All right, here's a picture that shows a little bit of the expanded value here. It shows the two replaceable filters, which I think is interesting to see. It offers high quality HEPA air filtration. And again, this is redundant, capturing up to 99.97% of the 0.03 micron particles in the air or less. Average life of the replaceable filters is about 6 months. And here you can see the two replaceable filters here. One, which is white and fluted, is a sieve. This is the one that actually captures the particulates themselves. The one in the background there, the darker one, the gray one, is a very unique filter that Niken has in their system, which has a combination of activated charcoal as well as immobilized enzymes or catalysts that can take organic vapors. Let's pick one. Let's pick a perfume you don't like. And once it goes through this filter, it will take those organic vapors, which make up the perfumes, and cleave them up into small pieces so that they can be trapped and taken out of the system, making not only purified air that's healthier for you, but one that's free from odors. All right, next one, Ruben. All right, not all HEPA filters are the same. This is true. The Kinko air purifier is patented to generate negative ions, giving the feeling of nature. All right, this is Shinrin Yoku, which is the Japanese walking in the forest feel. But again, I would say the most important aspect of the negative ion generation for the Kinko air purifier is that it floats negative ions in the air by the millions so that they can charge particles that are floating around so that they can more easily be and more efficiently be filtered out of the air by the system. Multiple stage filter captures 99.97% of the 0.3 micron filters in the air. Pre-filter we didn't see on the previous slide, but it is one that actually is the first line of defense when the fan is pulling the air through. And essentially what it does is it screens out the big bits, whether it's dandruff from your pets or hair from your pets or feathers from your bird, the big ones that would clog up the other two stages to follow. It pre-filters those. That pre-filter can be washed easily in the sink and doesn't need to be replaced. It just needs to be cleaned. Outer filters are replaceable, recommended every 6 months, and of course, put it on auto ship. It's perfect for that. Next one, Ruben.
Yes, and now you mentioned pets, right? So let's see.
Yes.
Let's see.
Ah, are we at pets already? Okay. Perfect place for your pet. Are we done with the Kinko air purifier?
Yes, unless you wanna bring something else, Dave. So
well, I mean, I think I'd like to talk a little bit about how important it is to not only have a Kinko air purifier in the room where you spend the most time, and the EPA has said, you know, ironically, the air pollution within the house or within your dwelling is 2 to 5 times worse than outside, but we spend 90% of our time inside.
right.
So clearly what you want to do is have a Kinko air purifier, particularly in the rooms of your house where you spend the most time. Sarah and I have several Kinko air purifiers in our home. We have one that's right next to the bed. And what's fantastic about it is it operates in a stealth fashion. We don't know it's there. We don't even know it's on. It's doing its thing. It's purifying the air in the room. It's giving us those beautiful negative ions that help us relax and give us a more productive and relaxing sleep. And it's also throttling up and down in a very, very quiet way. It's quieter than the noise level in a library. So for me, again, I would say when you take a look at all the characteristics that we have a true HEPA, and that we also have a stage that this activated charcoal stage with the enzymes or the catalysts to take out odors and organics, which most air filters simply do not have. To me, it's a best buy. To me, it's worth every penny. And yeah, let's segue to the pets.
Yes.
Next one, please.
Let's go with the pets.
Yeah, I mean, I think you had a good point, Ruben, that I did have a segue there talking about pet hair and dander, and there we have this guy. I don't know who this dog is, but it looks very much like a dog we had back in Connecticut called Boomer, who was a great dog. And if you think that dogs don't have personalities and souls, or cats, you're wrong. They really do. And we have one now that is it's a rescue dog. He's Calyx, who's part German Shepherd and part Husky. And I can't tell you how much of a part of the family he is. And next one, please. Yeah. So let's talk about
Pets
the
make our hearts beat inside our chest. When they play, eat, or rest, we would do anything at their request. Because your furry friend deserves the very best. Wait for what Niken will bring next.
There you go.
Wow. I didn't know.
There, huh?
I didn't know we were going to do that video. That's fantastic. I mean, those are beautiful animals, and I think that it's amazing that again, 67% of U.S. households, or approximately 85 million families, own a pet. That's 95.6 million cats and 89.7 million dogs. Yes, we have a dog. We don't have cats, but mostly because we have the dog. But it's amazing. On my street, everybody has a cat or two. Everybody has a dog or two. The pet industry expenditure has steadily grown. In 2020, $103.6 billion was spent on pets in the US. And what's amazing about that is we will go the extra mile for our pets. We will spend what it takes in order to make our pets happy and healthy. For 2021, it's estimated that it's going to grow to 109.6 billion that we'll be spending on our pets. So the market out there is huge. And when it comes to the pets that we love, that we have in our homes, our pocketbooks are open. Next one, Ruben. This is an interesting slide, and I have to give you a little bit of an aside here. I asked Ruben's team to help me put the slides together for this, which they were gracious enough to do, and they did a fantastic job. So I thank them for that. And this is one that they came up with, which I thought was great. The ultimate snoozers. Why do domestic cats and dogs sleep so much? Their averages are between 12 and 16 hours of sleep a day. And that's because a pet's sleep cycle is short, up to 20 sleep cycles, each lasting 15 minutes, versus a human's 4 to 5 sleep cycles, each lasting 90 minutes. So I think that's a great factoid about our dogs and cats. They need more sleep, and they certainly need a perfect place to rest. And that's the Kinko Sleep Pet Pad. Benefits: light, modern, flexible design for ease of use. It's relaxing and comforting due to the stimulating massage effect. Allows better air circulation to help your pets. Okay, Ruben, I must be running out of time. You're going fast here.
I apologize, Dave.
No, that's okay. I'm okay. That's
to you.
It's better than a cue. Go ahead. Let's go to the next one. I'll take these by. Magnetic technology. We have 20 ferrite magnets, which again augments and supports the Earth's magnetic field. We have tourmaline crystals, which are piezo and pyroelectric, which means if you add pressure or mechanical deformation to them, or heat, movement from your pet, they give off electrons to create negative ions. Negative ions work for not just human beings, but they work for cats, dogs, and pets in general, giving them a relaxing feeling of well-being. Rubberthane technology contains rubberthane that provides the surface nodules for a massaging effect. Yeah, cats and dogs want that too. And a 3D spacer. 2 fabrics joined by a spacer component creates small air chambers, helping to release the excess heat generated by your pet. And this is important. The spacer here allowing circulation. You know, dogs and cats do not sweat. They do get hot. They thermoregulate through their tongues, through their mouths and through their tongues, which is what the panting's all about. So if you can create an environment, if you can create a surface that has these 3D spacer fabric on it, then the flow of air in and around where the dog is lying down or where the cat is lying down will allow them to thermoregulate much better. And then, you know, when this product was put together, they said, you know what we need? We need a zip-off removable cover because it's got to be cleaned. And I can tell you, having different kinds of pet pads in my house, yes, I do have a Nikin pet pad, and the ones that we did that are not Nikin that I can't clean either get thrown out or get put in the backyard because after a while they get so grungy and so smelly that you can't deal with it. So Nikin was smart to do that, to make the removable cover. Do we have any more slides, Ruben?
We have the dimensions of the pet pad, and something I just want to add. This technology is very much like the Kinko Natras Fit, actually, that we have. Yeah, and the next one is this.
Yeah, and I'm not going to read these numbers, but I am going to tell you that when you try to do a experimental study,
yeah,
if it involves human beings, then you have to control for the placebo effect. You have to control for the fact that Human beings can be tricked into thinking they feel better or they're doing better, or just because of the fact that they're undergoing some kind of experimentation. You can't do that with dogs and cats. And what I've done and what I've seen done many, many times is put the pet pad down, put other beds, put other cushions next to it and around it. Which ones do the dogs and cats go to 100% of the time? The Kinko pet pad. Why? Because it's giving off these energies that the dogs are in tune with, not only the negative ions, not only the magnetic energy, but the comfort that it affords. The pets go right to it, and you can't fool an animal. And the Niken pet pad is just the best. And if you have pets and you don't have one, I suggest you get one and really see the difference. Okay.
Yeah, that is right. Actually, we didn't have the pet pad for a few months, so now it's coming back. So let's take advantage of this.
Yeah, I think it's a great product.
Yep. And Dave, I don't know if you have access to the questions.
I do not. Well, I mean, I had to focus on what's on the screen, Ruben, because you were moving my slides so fast. I'm kidding. Thank you very much for your help. I appreciate it. No, I have not seen the questions.
There's some questions here. Maybe you can help us.
If I go to chat, I can see it?
Yeah, you can see them there.
Okay, I went to chat and I see.
And, there's a question here where it says like about the dimensions of the Kinko air purifier, the 313 square feet. Do you have any input regarding that?
Well, I think what you'd rather do is you'd rather have too much air purifier for a smaller square footage than too little purifying capacity for too large of a room. I can tell you that an Kinko air purifier is certainly enough for a traditional sized bedroom. It's generally enough for a traditional sized living room. I mean, bets are off in Hollywood and in California, where we have these huge homes with huge ceilings. But for most of Middle America, it's plenty big. One Kinko air purifier is plenty big for a living room, plenty big for a bedroom.
Right. Yeah, actually, I was impressed. I have one in my bedroom, and somehow I opened that, and I was amazed. Like it was. By the way, it was dirty. Okay, so but I couldn't believe how much like dust it is inside of the homes. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, if you go once a month and you pull that white shroud off the front and take a look at the pre-screen, at the pre-screening layer, and you see how it's caked with dust. You see how it's got the dog hairs, and it's got, and you just, what I do is I don't actually, I mean, you can wash it in the sink, there's no problem there. I take the vacuum with the attachment and I vacuum it off.
That's what I did. Yes.
And that takes care of it. But here's what's interesting, Ruben. The lady who cuts my hair, it's a barber shop. It's not a salon or anything fancy, but the lady who cuts my hair, excuse me, has a sister who owns a nail salon. And the problem in the nail salon is that they have all these organic solvents like acetone and various kinds of alcohols. If you've ever been in a nail salon, you know what it smells like. If you've ever been in a hair salon, you know what it smells like because of the hair dyes and the perms and all that. And she put a Kinko air purifier in her salon, and when she comes in the morning, excuse me, all those vapors are gone. It smells beautiful, and her customers prefer it that way. They appreciate it, and it's much better for her in the long run if everybody decided they weren't going to breathe in the organic and inorganic toxins and particulates and went ahead and got a purifier, a Kinko air purifier that would help them ameliorate those problems.
Right. Makes a big difference.
And I saw I thought I saw a question pop up, something about a baby.
Yes.
I don't, and it can also be used for babies. Absolutely. Absolutely. It again, as Ruben said, it's the overlap between the pet pad and the NatureRest Fit is pretty close. It has a lot of the same technologies in it. And yeah, no, the pet pad would be great for babies. Yeah,
That is correct.
sounds good to me.
And Dave, they are asking like if we send all this information to our customers and consultants. And yes, we just did. And we get to customers, of course, we are very careful. So the only information they get is a retail price. And then once they subscribe to our, mailing and everything, I mean, they are there. Unless they request to stop, of course, we won't continue. But as I mentioned, all this information, you can go to myniken.com and it's there as well. If you have any question, just you can go there and check. Customer service is there too. So we are there to help you with any question or any details about the promotion and stuff. So let's see.
And I just want to before I bail here, Ruben, I just wanted to say that the information that I gave out about the EPA, talking about indoor air pollution and their recommendations on HEPA filters, can be found on the EPA website. And the information that I gave out about COVID and the COVID virus, can be found on the CDC website. Again, go to Google, put in HEPA. HEPA, which is high efficiency particle air, HEPA, and COVID, and you'll go to the CDC website and you'll see a whole discussion there where they say in no uncertain terms, particularly during these times, during these trying times, you should have a HEPA filter in your home and you should have it on 24/7.